Did you know that your ascension symptoms are pretty much your unconscious programming? That's one of the things that we feel we have no control over. But when you think about your unconscious programming, that's not something that you know, right? But the way that you can find out if you have unconscious programming, which is creating your body to show you ascension symptoms, I can't say it, ascension symptoms, then you know that there is a way you can find out. I'm Susan Kennard. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel so that I can grow, I can reach more people that need the help right now, and like, of course, and share it with whoever you feel. So I really wanted to today to come on and talk to you about ascension symptoms, because we have just, she says clearing her throat, we have just had a really incredible eclipse season and we are still in it. Now, many years ago, I trained as a naturopath, and also I'm trained in meta health. Those of you that know what meta health is, it's looking at the metaphysical causes of disease. So let me just get my YouTube channel up here and see if anyone comes on live and I can say hi to you. And if you notice, I've got my kind of wintry look on today with robins, and it's kind of Christmassy, but it's more kind of winter here in the UK. So I just kind of wanted to do that. It's actually quite chilly, although we've got a beautiful sunny day today. So yeah, so one of my specialisms is to help people release trauma. And to do that, we have to really look at the emotional causal reasons. And most of that is unconscious. So the question might be, you know, how do we know then why our body is showing this message? How do we know that actually we can access the emotions? Well, one of the ways that we can tell is how we feel about the symptom. Okay. So say we have an achy back or something, right? And so we have this achy back and we're like, oh, every time I get up in the morning, I have this pain in my back, or I have this pain in my neck, or whatever it is. And I feel that it's really stiff. I feel like I can't move, you know, and it makes me feel what? It makes me feel frustrated, maybe. It makes me feel old. Some people say, oh God, I feel really old, like I can't get out of bed or something like that. You know, and I heard that this morning. I was at an appointment this morning in a, you know, clinical sitting situation. And I heard this woman get up from the bed. She was having a treatment as I was having a treatment. And she said, oh God, you know, I'm getting old, and, you know, people make me catch colds, and I don't go out very much. And this person gave me a cold. I only walked outside the front door. And when you look at like the language that is, you know, it was just fascinating for me to hear that language, because it's really looking at, firstly, blame, of course, of someone else giving you something. But secondly, the feeling of, oh, this is something that, you know, makes me feel old. Yeah. So when we've got that language and that dialogue going on in our mind and in our you know, frequency, in our cellular frequency, then we're just replaying that all the time. It's the same in relationships. You know, if we always think we have to give to receive, then that belief comes from a place where we had to prove ourselves. Okay. So we're thinking about those things all the time. And being a psychologist and psychotherapist, that's my kind of old life. I know that 95% of our thoughts are actually run by our unconscious, which is, you know, our, what I call our inner dialogue, as opposed to the dialogue that we give to the world. All right. So that's our inner dialogue. So when we think about our body, and we think about what messages our body is giving us, and especially if they come out of the blue, So, you know, we might wake up one morning, we have a headache, we might wake up another day and we might have, I can't put my foot down on the floor or something like that. Yeah. So we have to really come into that place of how does that make us feel? Because dis-ease in the mind is dis-ease in the body. Okay. And I am actually going to, I'm just getting a bit of guidance here from my guides. Where is it? Hold on. It's my drawer. This is my book, Awaken the Light Within Your Heart, which came out last month. And there is a piece in here about, about the body. So I'm just going to find it because it's really interesting what the guides say. You can get this book on Amazon if you fancy it. Okay, here we go. Page 24. And then I want to do a process with you where we can access a part of, yeah. So it's quite, you know, fairly, it's chapter 6, so it's quite a fairly big chapter. I'm just going to ask the guys what part they want me to read out. Okay, all right. So, so I'm just going to read this part out. So it's in chapter 6, Healing the Body. The body is the vehicle for your soul. A disclaimer, and this is in the book, and it's also in my audiobook as well, which will be out very soon. I do not claim to heal or cure. The guides are conveying their perspective on healing. Read this information and take what resonates with you. Consult a medical practitioner if you feel you need to. So the guides say, we know that some of you reading this will be taken by illness and dis-ease, taken by your thoughts, taken by your beliefs. We ask you to listen to your body, listen to the answers within. And that's something that we're going to do in a moment in a process I'll take you through. Not only do we awaken the light within our mind, we awaken to the light within our body. As we do this, we become brighter, our eyes are clear, our skin is glowing, and our body heals. Some may say, how can this be? By just awakening the light within, surely I can't heal my body. But when you remember that your soul knows no bounds, that you came into this life to know when your light was dimmed, when you were not in alignment with your divine mission, then you will know that you chose for your body to be a barometer. You chose for your body to let you know. Those aches and pains you feel, those heart palpitations, those are messages that your soul is trying to talk to you. The stiffness in your joints, the unexplained dis-ease that just appeared. So there we go. So there's a lot more in that chapter about dis-ease and what the guides believe about it. But it just shows us, doesn't it, that actually this physical body that we are inhabiting right now is talking to us at all times. So when we look at it that way, we can say the mind is not separate from the body. Okay, so the medical model quite often will separate a symptom from the mind. Okay, although, you know, when I talk to doctors and work with doctors, they agree that the mind is not separate from the body, but of course they're trained in a way to separate the mind from the body, right? So the mind is separate from the body from medical model. So the symptom is treated as opposed to holistically looking at the mind, the soul, of course, and the body being that barometer for the soul. Okay, so what's going on right now with Ascension is that our frequency is raising. So you may have noticed that, you know, you might not be able to eat the same foods as you used to be able to eat. You might not be able to drink any alcohol, or if you do, you feel absolutely dreadful. You might not, you might feel like you want to move your body more. You might feel like you need to kind of exercise more or find a different exercise routine. So there are lots of things that are happening that we're listening to or not listening to, can choose not to. And it is our way of actually refining our energy field. And so what I'm noticing around me is there are a huge amount of people that are unwell at the moment. Okay. And we can, blame it on the weather. We can blame it on the seasons. We can blame it on people giving us something. Or we can really look at what is it within us that needs to release some old emotional, spiritual, and physical toxicity. So when we're thinking about it that way, our body is doing a really good job of creating, how can I say this without being deplatformed, creating a cleansing system within the cell so that we can actually release this toxicity. So this could be chemical, food, emotional, and spiritual toxicity. Okay, so these are the main aspects of it. So what happens is we have these amazing transformations happening, eclipses, new moons, full moons, equinoxes. We are not separate from the moon. We are not separate from the sea. We're not separate from, this incredible universe. We are all connected and we are all one. So everything is connected. So essentially with that belief and that knowing, we know that our body is going to do the absolute best it possibly can for us to heal whatever we need to heal. Okay. So if you think about it that way, you have so much power within to heal yourself. All right. So just think about that for a moment. You have so much power within to heal yourself. Okay. So let's have a look at, let's do a little process just for a few minutes. Let's come into our heart space and let's access something that our incredible body is trying to tell us via our soul. Okay, that would be fun. All right, so just come into your heart space, close your eyes, take some deep breaths. And then just imagine a light in your heart and just imagine that light expanding. I like to see it as pink and golden sparkling lights, or golden, whatever resonates with you, whatever helps you to stay in your focus. And then send that beautiful light all the way down to your feet, all the way up to your crown of your head. And down just underneath your feet, imagine silver cords going down to an earth star, connecting you to Mother Earth. Fantastic. And just bring that star just a little bit further into the center of Mother Earth. Okay, and this golden earth we're creating. And then I want you to imagine just above your head, there is another beautiful star. And this is your soul star. Just imagine those two stars and a beautiful beam of light, an incredible, I'm seeing it like a platinum golden beam of light coming down, putting you in the spotlight. Okay, and so we're just going to invite our guides to come in, to join us. Don't worry if you don't know who they are. And we're just going to invite them to be with us in this moment. You can see how fast it is to connect and ground, and just invite your guides, okay? And then just coming into your heart space. If you have got something going on in your body, if there is dis-ease or something going on in your body, maybe an ache or pain or a cough or a cold or whatever it might be, just go into your heart and ask your body, what emotion do I need to release? And just take a deep breath. Okay. And just listen. And the first emotion that you get, don't think too much, just the first emotion that you get, just acknowledge that. And the way that we would do that, and this is very fast track, I want you to just say, I'm so sorry that you feel, and it might be fear, it might be guilt, it might be shame, it might be frustration, whatever it is. Just say, I'm so sorry that you feel and this emotion. I'm so sorry that you feel, and then the emotion again. And then again, I'm so sorry that you feel that emotion. I'm so honoured that you are talking to me and I am listening. Thank you so much for showing me that I need to love myself more. And then just take a deep breath. Okay, and then open your eyes. So what we were doing there, and that was just a very, very quick experience of connecting, listening and acknowledging. What we're doing with I'm so sorry is we're actually giving compassion to a part of us, like a little part of us, a little inner child part of us that we don't know is playing out in our unconscious, all right? Like running the show. So we're saying, I'm so sorry you feel, let's say it's fear, yeah, I'm so sorry you feel all of this fear. All right, we're acknowledging that part of us that didn't get the acknowledgement when perhaps we were a child in that moment. Doesn't mean it was good or bad, just that we didn't get that acknowledgement. And then what happens is at this time of incredible frequency shift, all of these emotions that no longer serve us have got to come to the surface. Okay, they have to come to the surface because if they don't, they just get deeper and deeper and deeper, and they hold a frequency. And that frequency is, if you imagine a kind of heavy frequency would be fear, shame, guilt, whatever. And a light frequency would be love, acceptance, freedom, joy, happiness. Yeah. So if you imagine those two, and I liken them to curry and fruit and veg, right? So if you ate curry every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner, an evening snack, you might feel a bit heavy, right? But if you ate fruit and veg every meal and plus snacks, you probably would be okay. You wouldn't feel heavy. So if you can look at that analogy of food, imagine if you're holding on and your body is holding on to that frequency. Somewhere along the line, it's got to come out, right? Because you just can't exist in that. We are love, we're pure love, and we can't exist with fear within us, right? So we have to release those unwanted, darker frequencies, all right? So that is an exercise, and it's very quick. When you come on my retreats and my groups and my moon events, and even if you're part of the Soul family, the Soul's Mission membership, which we meet 5 times a month, that allows you to go deeper into these stories and really clear out the deepest, oldest emotions that you didn't even know were there. Okay, leaving you to feel this sense of living your mission in your freedom. But this was just a little taster for you so that you can actually access what your soul is trying to talk to you about via your physical body. Okay, so let me know how you got on in the comments. I will acknowledge all the comments. Just give me days, and sometimes it takes me a couple of days to get back to everyone, but I will acknowledge every single comment. I don't always reply with a comment for time, but I do acknowledge every single comment. So I read every comment. What was the other thing I was going to say to you? There's lots of healing processes in my book. So many of my healing processes I've used them for years, and they've evolved to 5th dimensional and higher frequencies of the guides working through. So when you do read my book, you feel this healing energy as you're reading it. So that might be helpful for you at this time. You can just get it on Amazon or all across the world. I'll leave the link below. So make sure that you join me on Friday morning for my 5-minute frequency tune-up, where the galactic guides or whoever comes in comes and works with us on a deeper level. And I have a feeling that they're going to work with the physical body, the soul and the physical body this week. So we're going to be doing some deep healing, and it's probably going to be Akashic records, it's going to be past lives and so on. So you definitely want to join me on that. It goes out at 7:30 a.m. UK. The other announcement is this Sunday, I'm going to be doing the new moon in Sagittarius. So we're going to be doing meditation, astrology, and an activation for the new moon to manifest something incredible into your life. So I'd love to have you. Pop over to my website, susankennard.co.uk. And don't forget to listen to my podcast, The Spiritual Awakener, because I've got some really good guests on there at the moment. And you can find that on my YouTube channel, but you can also find it on iTunes and across all podcast platforms. So much love for now. I will see you very soon. Oh, hi, Maria. Hi. Thanks for joining. Maria's podcast actually is out on iTunes today. And it's the Spiritual Awakener podcast. And you can listen to her talking about incredible channeled art. So much love, and I will see you very soon.